Okay, let's see. Who is yours and my constant companion? Let's have some guess. It is in your bag, in your pocket, in your hands, and against your hands. You usually use it at home, in class, at the gym maybe, and sometimes you use it when you are hanging out with your family or friends, and usually before you go to bed, and most of the first thing when you wake up in the morning. And yeah, I'm talking of course about your cell phone. And according to my surveys, everyone who's watching this video has a cell phone, and most of us use it a dozen of times every day. But what if our constant companion is dangerous? What if it's hazardous? Okay, let me tell you. The evidence is piling up that long terms of using cell phones can lead to tissue damage, tumors, and even brain cancers. Given that there are still over 4 billion people worldwide are still using cell phones. Now we are looking at a problem potentially staggering magnitude, according to Dr. Devra Davis, the epidemiologist and an author of 2000 book, Disconnect the Truth of the Cell Phone's Radiation. We may be watching an epidemic in slow motion, but I have never thought this much about the possible perils of cell phone before I watched a video of CBS News report on the subject earlier 2020. But by doing some extensive readings for this speech made me realize that cell phone do in fact pose a dangerous to our health risk. But worse not, because I'm not going to persuade you to abandon your constant companion, because I still use mine on a regular basis and I probably will always. Okay, but first, let's look more closely at the health risks posed by cell phones. Those risks stem from the fact that cell phones emit small amounts of radiation that over time can damage tissue. And every time you use your cell phone and expose yourself to that radiation, the amount is minuscule in comparison that given off by X-ray machine. Ronald Herbertman, one of oncologists of the University of Pittsburgh Cancer Institute, explains that problems with cell phone radiation is not how much is emitted at a single time, but how much we are exposed to with repeated use day after day or year after year. And this is a long-term use of cell phone that has led researchers to warn about their danger. And in one study from World Health Organization, or known as WHO, have tracked 10,000 cell phone users over the course of 10 years, as reported in the New York on November 13, 2010. The data in the study indicate that subjects who use a cell phone over 10 or more years have double the risk of developing brain tumors. And believe me or not, some of cell phones manufacturers such as Apple brand, for example, has recommended the users for keeping funky. 1, 2, 3. And believe me or not, that some sell some of cell phone. Okay. 1, 2, 3. But believe me or not, some sell many cell phone. 1, 2, 3. But believe me or not, some of cell phones manufacturers such as Apple brand, for example, has recommended to the users to 1, 2, 3. And believe me or not, some of cell phones manufacturers such as Apple brand, for example, has recommended their users for keeping the phone 5 inches away from the body. And this information is not publicized widely, and they clearly know and recognize that their products are potentially hazardous. So, what's the solution for this problem? As I said earlier, I'm not going to persuade you for stop using your cell phones, because I still use mine and I still use it as my regular basis. And of course, in this kind of generation, phone is a very must to us, right? Especially when we want to attend our classes, when we want to do our assignments, when we want to attend a meeting, or maybe when we want to contact our friends and so on. But there's must a solution for every problem. So the first solution that I recommend and persuade you to do is, do not press your cell phone directly to your head. Why? Because the cell phones emit the radiation, so that the closer you put the phone to the head, it will expose yourself to the radiation more. So how you're going to do that? By you take your phone half an inch away or full inch away from your head when you are talking with your phone. But it's quite hard, right? Of course, there's second solution. So you can use any headphones, for example, the Bluetooth one like this, or maybe a wired headphones when you are using your cell phones. And maybe you can use a speaker when you are talking to your phone, so that you can minimize the risk of the radiation when you are using your cell phone. I know it's quite hard and awkward for us to make a little bit changes while we are using our cell phone, because we are used to it and it's a habit for us, right? But as I watch and read about an experience of brain tumor survivors named Alan Marks, he said that if he knew the prolonged terms of using cell phones and the emitted radiation that exposed to ourselves when we are using our cell phones, he will never do what we are doing right now. So that, let's think about 10 years later. Do we want to fight our brain tumors or our cancer due to our habits by using our cell phone right now? We don't want it, right? So please spread this awareness to your friends, to your family especially, and let's change our new norms in the way we're using our phone right now. So in conclusion, I really persuade everyone to spread this awareness to family and friends, and please, let's make this new solution as a new norms to minimize the risks and problems for a better future in our life. Thank you.